Most of us know Assassin's Creed as a single-player game series, and chances are some of you didn't even know about it having multiplayer, but I can proudly say that I've spent at least 100 hours in Assassin's Creed multiplayer, and it was one of the most engaging experiences I've had. It is true that modern Assassin's Creed releases don't feature multiplayer whatsoever, and it was like that since Unity, but before that, starting from Brotherhood up until Black Flag, the game had several multiplayer modes, and I'm not talking about co-op such as in Unity, but full-on PvP modes. I am going to talk solely about the Assassination mode, since it was the one I played the most back in that time, and it is my favorite mode out of all. So, here's how it works. You get in a lobby of 8 people and each of them chooses a player model. You get in a relatively small or perhaps medium-sized map filled with lots of NPCs walking around and doing some activities, and most of them have the same models as the other players. The game gives you a target, that being some other player, which you have to find, identify among NPCs and assassinate. Besides that, you also have a pursuer, which has you as a target and tries to kill you. Every player in the lobby has a target and a pursuer. When you assassinate the target, you get a new one and earn points. The lobby has a leaderboard of who has the most points, and, quite obviously, the one with the most points after the session's end wins. It's a relatively simple concept, but it leads to extremely engaging gameplay. Let's get into some more details. The game shows you how your target looks, and it gives you a compass that helps you find them. And even though it now sounds easy to find and kill the guy, there is a twist. As I mentioned before, the map is filled with crazy amounts of NPCs, some of which have the exact same models as the players, as well as your target. When you get close to them, the game won't show you exactly who you need to get rid of. You will have to identify them yourself, and the target will try to look like an NPC by blending in with the crowd, just as in the single player mode. Every player can walk along other people, do activities with them, or just stand still in a group and talk. To successfully identify your target, you have to scout around and try to catch them doing something that NPCs don't do. For example, running up roofs or doing other parkour elements, or perhaps even killing their own target on your eyes. In different Assassin's Creed games, you also had different ways to distract the NPCs. For example, throwing coins on the ground. The crowd will go and pick them up, but the players can't do that, so if they were standing close to them, they will be the only ones who don't crouch to pick up the money. But you have to be careful and not do anything crazy too, because the game gives players clues when their pursuer is close by playing whispering noises. So if you get close to your target, they will know somebody is either watching them or is going in for the assassination. And if you start doing something that NPCs don't do, your target will understand that it's you who's trying to kill them and will be able to get ready for your attack. Every player can stun the person who's attacking them if they can do it in time. Stunning is not killing, but it makes you do a stun animation and you lose all control of your character for a few seconds. And it would be fine enough if not for the fact that someone also has you as a target and is probably watching you the same way you were watching your guy. So when you're stunned, your killer will see it and easily kill you because you can't do anything. Or perhaps they will identify you even before that, when you're only scouting and searching for your own target. Every unnatural move you make trying to get a better position for the sake of finding or killing your guy only helps your pursuer find and kill you. So during the gameplay, you constantly have to make decisions of either trying to be unnoticed for your pursuer or to make moves on your target. If you're skilled enough, you can do both, by slowly getting closer to your victims through the crowds and silently killing them in a closed-off place, which doesn't compromise you until the very last moment. But it requires insane amounts of skill, because once again, your target can get clues on when you're close to them, so staying unnoticed until the very last moment is a fairly difficult task. You, of course, also hear these clues when your pursuer gets closer to you, and you also can stun them, which allows to either go for the kill yourself, or just leave the scene so your killer has to do the whole find identify cycle again. You can also get lucky, that being your pursuer getting killed by their own pursuer, which will give you some period of time without being chased, during which you can do whatever you need to get to your target. As you might have noticed, there are countless tactics you can use to succeed, as well as countless crazy situations that can happen during the match, and that's what makes this multiplayer mode so fun and replayable. I haven't even talked about the perks and abilities you have that can fool your pursuer or target, such as temporarily changing your player model, which is unknown to your pursuer, and watching them kill an NPC that had the same skin you had 10 seconds ago, after which you stun them, do a taunt animation for the lols, and run away. It's honestly such an engaging mode to play, and you have nothing similar to it except something like Among Us or Spy Party, but none of them come close to what Assassin's Creed offered. And the saddest thing to me is that the games that featured this kind of multiplayer were only released from 2010 to 2013, and after Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it was ultimately abandoned and never reintroduced again to this day. Many of you watching this video maybe haven't haven't even experienced the old Assassin's Creed that wasn't RPG driven, let alone playing the multiplayer or knowing it exists at all. As far as I know, the servers for the old games were shut down about a year ago. However, I've seen videos of people still somehow playing it a few months back, so I don't know exactly if it's available to play today. Even if you can boot it up, you'd still have to go to dedicated Discord servers to find people and arrange a playing session together, since you obviously can't just find the game in a few seconds like you could back in 2013. And it genuinely makes me sad, because it's an experience that thousands of people would enjoy a lot today. The core idea allows for infinite replayability, so if Ubisoft just decided to polish everything up again and launch a multiplayer mode like this in some newer titles, I'm pretty sure it would find immediate success. And it's not like you can't monetize it. The original games had microtransactions for skins which didn't even ruin the gameplay, because the NPCs also had the same skin if some player used a paid one. There is some hope though, because apparently there's a new Assassin's Creed entry coming up which will focus on the multiplayer, but we don't know yet what exactly that means and if it will feature the assassination mode again. And I honestly don't understand why haven't anyone made a standalone game just revolving around this game mode. I mean, yes, it's quite difficult to make a game, but the idea has been around for 13 years already and was always really well accepted in all the Assassin's Creed games. Spy Party was the closest game to assassination mode, but despite having somewhat the same core idea, it was done in a completely different way, with the sniper not being able to move, the target only being able to walk around the crowd and try to pretend to be an NPC, the location being pretty small, and the game being 1v1. If you ask me, I would always choose Assassin's Creed way of doing it over Spy Party, especially when it comes to replayability. Not to say Spy Party is a bad game, of course, it was proven to be pretty fun as well, but once again, it's a different thing, and for me, it doesn't even come close to the assassination mode. If someone who's watching this knows if it's possible to play the game now in some way, please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to hop on it again after 10 years. If you want to learn more about gaming gems, experiences and just the stuff that I find interesting, subscribe and leave a like so more people get to know about the assassination mode from AC. Perhaps this will encourage someone somewhere to either get it back in the newer AC titles or make a standalone game revolving around it. Stay tuned and see you next time.